Okay, well, today, welcome in. We're going to talk about something that I've been thinking about recently just because of some things that have been talked about lately, rumors and stuff about expansion in the conferences. And today I'm going to talk about the SEC because that's the conference I know most about. Um, and I'm just going to talk about teams that I personally would like to see join the SEC. Now, the SEC has expanded in the past, recently adding Texas A&M and Missouri. But I think that with the next expansion, they should also branch out and go into states that are currently not um, have an SEC team in them. So, with my first pick, I think we should add the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, the reason I picked Oklahoma in this spot is it adds a team that's had a lot of success recently. They play an exciting brand of football. Um, they've had two Heisman trophies in a row, and possibly a third. Jalen Hurts is there now. And I think Oklahoma fits the SEC as far as athletics overall. They have good softball. They have baseball. They have all these other sports. Even in the past they've been good at basketball in the not so distance past, anyways. So Oklahoma, being a football centric school, but also having good athletics overall, is a good fit for the SEC. You'd have a natural rival with Texas A&M because they used to play in the Big 12. And then, like I said, they've just got a very high quality, high, octane offense that's going to be fun to watch and would be a welcome addition to the SEC. I think Oklahoma is a great pick to add to the SEC West. Now, along with Oklahoma, my second pick would be West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, West Virginia makes sense to me because they're also another program that's been successful in multiple sports, and they have been a very successful football program in particular. They've had a lot of good players, and I think they're a team that maybe not as many people would think, if I'm, adding a team towards the eastern side, I'm going to add a big powerhouse like maybe Clemson or Florida State, something like that. But I think West Virginia, with the added money that you could get from SEC Network and from all the other benefits that come with being an SEC school, I think they could really take it to the next level in similar ways that you've seen a team like Texas A&M, because they weren't a perennial powerhouse in the Big 12. They were kind of always playing second fiddle to Oklahoma, Texas, and other teams. And now Texas A&M is viewed as a top tier football team. And I think a lot of that has to do with being in the SEC now versus where they were at in the Big 12. And I think similarly with West Virginia coming to the SEC, they could make a leap the same way Texas A&M does. And then, like I said, they play a good brand of football, like Oklahoma. Like Oklahoma, it's exciting. So I think that would be a good team to add. It would be a good strength of schedule team to add for the East, and an exciting team to add. So I think West Virginia makes a good addition to the SEC. Now, both those picks I think are beneficial to the SEC for the reasons I've stated, but they also expand the network, as it were, and gets the SEC into a wider region. You got go into Oklahoma, you go into West Virginia, you get more people involved in the SEC in general, which I think is a good thing because the SEC has the superior brand of football for all of college football, and we already know that. I also avoided going to the ACC to pick off some of their teams, which I would list now. A few that I thought of were obviously Clemson. I didn't think they would come, and honestly, I think, do we really want to add Clemson to the SEC? It kind of, you know, it's taken away from, it'd be basically obliterating the ACC, so they wouldn't even have a conference really, because then you leave them with maybe Florida State and Miami. I also thought maybe some basketball type schools, because the SEC is not just football, so you got to think of UNC, Duke, NC State, which were all good options, but I think in the end, personally, I wanted to stay out of the ACC area and just kind of go with picks that may not be as widely thought about. And my dark horse that I might would have picked is Georgia Tech. The reason I didn't pick them was because they're in Georgia, so there's not expansion as far as the territory goes. I don't think they're as competitive as some of the other schools would be as far as athletics go, because they do have a higher academic standard, which is good for a conference to have teams that have that higher academic standard. But I think in the end, the picks that I went with, Oklahoma and West Virginia, would be really great fits in the SEC. And I'm really just interested to hear what you think, who you think would be a good addition. And then I want to hear a rebuttal or a response from you, Drew, to see what teams you would add. You can like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll read them and reply. If you think that there's a different team that you would want in there, or if you disagree completely, or you don't think there should be any kind of expansion at all, just let us know. Thank you.